Dan, I hope you enjoyed those last 2 days, because those kind of days were for you. Smaller slates, a pick here, a pick there. Thank you very much. However, this Thursday night, I must say, this is not for the Dans out there. This is for those of you with a wooden leg and an eye patch who roam the deep seas looking for treasure. This Thursday is for the Pirates, because there are going to be plenty of parlays.
Ye be sniffing a parlay.
As soon as I took a first glance at this slate, put on my glasses. I don't wear glasses. I would look real weird with glasses. Oh, Ruckus. Oh, we got some more Ruckus. Oh, wow, additional oh, wow, okay, there's Ruckus all over the place. And for those of you who don't know, what Ruckus means is when you got two teams playing each other, and those teams aren't really good defensively, don't have great goaltending, and just kind of send everyone forward and see what happens. And typically, you're looking for members of the Scam Five. Who are the Scam Five? People kind of need reminding. The Scam Five, sorry, Stevie Bongrips, are the Detroit Red Wings, the Buffalo Sabres, the Ottawa Senators, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the New Jersey Devils, with the honorable mention handed out to the Edmonton Oilers. And all six of them are on this slate, and some of them are playing each other. We have members of the Scam Five and the alternate captain, the alternate Scam Five member, playing each other. And these Ruckus same-game parlays, those are what allow people, the Pirates, who just hope to go from rag to riches. It provides them the opportunity to take player props with the over, and in some cases where I like a side, on the side. And that's how you get the rags to riches same-game parlays. Because in hockey, that's the way to build them. In football, you can take alt, receiving overs, and you can build it up that way. But in hockey, you got to be very strategic about those big payouts. Now, your accountant will tell you that's idiotic. If you take a parlay's odds into Shark Tank, they're going to say, no, you got to get out of that business. But it doesn't mean that pirates ain't going to exist. And you know what? Every once in a while, a pirate finds his pay. And maybe that's today. When it comes to these pirate parlays, I just want to let you know, the payouts are so big. So like, we're going to hand out 4 of them for these Ruckus same-game parlays. If you hit one, it clears all 4. I understand you're a pirate, and I know it's tempting to put everything all together. But in your head, wouldn't you say, wow, it would be nice if I hit one, I clear them all. So you make some money on the night, and you get to enjoy the thrills. Doesn't that sound good? So how about, I'm not telling you not to be a pirate. Just don't be a full pirate. Be a semi-pirate. Be a standard 9-to-5 pirate. Be the Dan's version of a pirate, where you can take every pirate parlay. Just don't throw them all together in one massive lottery ticket. Does that sound fair? Is that good? Okay. Should we get on to them? No, let's start with the straight picks that I like first. So, Dan, if you're still around, how about this? I really like the Toronto Maple Leafs on the road at the New York Islanders. Toronto Maple Leafs, they're playing their best hockey of the season. Look, these opponents aren't great, but trust me when I tell you, it's easy to overlook bad opponents. You see this left and right. And Toronto, that road trip, came home. They didn't have that little slip up. In fact, it was the opposite. It was a massacre of San Jose. Then they're going into Long Island, where they lost that first game in overtime. But the Islanders are playing particularly awful at the moment. They lost in overtime to Colorado because they blow leads left and right. They've been cashing those overs for us left and right. Then they lost to Vegas, who Vegas is losing to everyone, not the New York Islanders. Then they come home and get waxed by Vancouver, who just played the night before and had their backup goalie in. The Islanders, they're in one of their down phases, and I'm going to take advantage. This is one of those two storms, those two fronts, one high pressure, one low pressure. They're meeting, and I don't know how a tornado means the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I'm taking the Toronto Maple Leafs in this game against the New York Islanders. Then that takes me to another team I like on the night, and this is one of our Ruckus same-game parlay overs, but if you don't want to get involved with any Ruckus, that's fine. I like the Tampa Bay Lightning over the New Jersey Devils. You guys kind of know how I feel about the Devils. I'm lower on them than most people, especially considering that they may still be dealing with some injuries. I'm not sure how many, if they're getting Meyer and Palat. And I know, Hughes is banged up and everything, so we will see on that front. We'll see how many players are healthy. But in all honesty, even if those guys play, I like Tampa coming back from down 2-0 and winning in overtime against the King. I like how they play on their home ice. We're going to see. I have a hard time believing Tampa's not making the playoffs. They still have too much of that core there. And I think with Vasilevsky, the rest of this season, I think they're going to have a decent amount of wins. Their win percentage going forward, I believe, will be higher than their current win percentage, which is showing them out of the playoff picture at the moment. But you know what would help? A nice win against the New Jersey Devils. I'm going to go with the Lightning in that one, along with the over 6.5, because this is a ruckus same game parlay. And if we want to really cash in on it, we can do over 1.5 points for Victor Hedman. I saw this one available, so I can show it to you guys. And then over 0.5 point for Jesper Bratt and Lightning to win. You can remove any of those that you like. But for this one, I'll do 2 points for Hedman, 1 for Bratt. You're not getting great prices on guys like Point and Kucherov. So I always look at somebody on that, or even Stamkos for that matter. But I always look at Hedman, who's running the point on that power play, as somebody who can, snag a couple points, especially against a poor defense like the New Jersey Devils. So that's one ruckus same game parlay. Now another one. Two members. The ruckus potential doesn't get much more higher than this. We got the Sabres hosting the Senators in a ruckus classic. 2 out of the playoff picture teams with nothing to play for other than your enjoyment, just some ruckus. And both of these teams will hit that one stretch, just as they do every year, just as they did last year, right at the 58 to 60% mark. When they rip off a bunch of wins, you go, here they come, look at that skill. And then right when it counts again, like in that 88 to 90% mark, they just lose all the must-win games. But anyway, who cares about that? We're worried about this tonight. This game has such high potential, ruckus. Yes, the over 6.5, that's a bet if you want to take that. But this is one where I'm experimenting with 2 points for one player on one team and 2 points for a player on another team. That one, this one's set up perfect for that. And really, you don't even need to take the premier players. You can do 2 points for Thomas Chabot, I swear to you, and 2 points for Alex Tuch, 2 points for Jeff Skinner, and 2 points for Tim Stützle, 2 points for Giroux, 2 points for Dahlin. You might do 2 points for all of them. This one really can go wild. If it doesn't, oh well. But this is one, I'm doing a player from both sides with 2+ points. And if you don't know how much that pays out a stack. If you're correct, and we've done it a couple times over the last week. So, sniff your own way, sniff your own way. And also, you know what's great about sniffing your own way? You feel like you did it. I'm the gas station attendant, and I printed you a ticket, but don't you want to have your own? So experiment with it. It's a ruckus game. Have fun with it. You are a pirate after all. And that means you'll also be interested in another game between a member of the Scam 5 and then someone just on the alternate, just in case someone gets injured, like the All-Star game. And that's the Oilers and the Red Wings. Stevie Bong Rips, how we feeling? I know you want me to take the Red Wings. I think you told me 2 days ago, prepping me for this game. The Red Wings weren't playing, so who cares? He told me, you ready for the Red Wings on Thursday? You ready? What are you thinking about today? The Red Wings, right? Now I was kind of thinking about who I'm going to take from the Red Wings, and I'm going 2 points for Larkin, 1 point for Draisaitl, over 6.5. And remember, I'm going to cut that 6.5 because if I take the underdog, a player on the team who's an underdog, and I'm taking a player on that team for 2 points, I'm taking a player from the favorite for 1 point, then I'm going to attach the +1.5 to it. So I'm going 2 points for Larkin, 1 point for Draisaitl, and Detroit at +1.5. Why do I do that? Look, you don't really need to be a mathematician here. If you're right and you're winning the points part of the bet, that means the theoretical score is 2-1 Detroit. In order for you to lose that +1.5, Edmonton needs to nail 3 more goals. So if we're getting that much more odds on it by adding that +1.5 from the underdog side, and we've already taken the guy to get 1 more point than the Oiler, does that make sense to you? It makes sense to me. Doesn't have to make sense. That's why they're called Ruckus same game over parlays. That's another one right there. And there's another one on top of that. Maybe this is like the least of the fun, but it's hard to say that because Pittsburgh is a member of my Scam 5 and Vancouver, previous member of the Scam 5. Remember them last year? They graduated. Rick Tocchet has escalated them out of that. However, you know, he who once scammed still has the ability to scam. It's like a recovered alcoholic, you know? You can really get back into it quick, as you saw in that Devils game and you saw in that Rangers game. Yeah, they were scoring, but they were conceding. And why couldn't that be one of those? Only the Islanders couldn't really go nuts and come back on them and go back and forth, even though that game was an over against the Isles. But here, you give me 2 points for Crosby, 2 points for Pettersson. Think you don't even need an over. You don't even need to pick a side, but you still can. The opportunities are endless. How about this? 2 points for Pettersson, 1 point for Gensel, over 6.5. So that's just a whole plethora of ruckus that I really just tried to spit out at you and get everything out like that. You ever seen Men in Black 2? You ever see the mailman? He's got like 15 hands going and he's got the cigarette. So that's all of them. But still, I'll never forget about good unders. Don't you know, bump it up. We got to bump it up. There are a couple bump it up unders and traditional unders I like. We got the Kraken facing the Capitals. Kraken, I think last game, their player point props had a single guy in the minus category. Vince Dunn, who's a defenseman, that's the highest price you have to pay on the Seattle Kraken if you want to take somebody for a point. Everybody on their team was plus money. I forget which game it was. So that's how much of an offensive juggernaut they are. And Washington, let's just say offense isn't their strong suit if you look at the rankings on the season. No unnecessary shots for me. I'm paying to bump this up to 6.5. I'll take the under 6.5 there. Then you got the Vegas Golden Knights looking exhausted, looking tired, looking slow. Avalanche ran right through them. And then they got to go right back on the ice the following night against the Bruins, who they play a physical game. They play a tough game.
You sure about that?
This one, to me, that's another under 6.5. And then the final one, I ain't going to make the same mistake twice with those Kings. The Kings play good defense. Do I think they're going to win the game? I don't know. These are two very good teams. One of the best teams in the East, one of the best teams in the West. Yeah, that means I'm going to take the under 6.5. Did you learn that lesson that I said? I mean, look, I didn't hit both teams to score 2+. We were right on the Avalanche. But do you see what happens when you get two juggernauts playing each other? You can add another under in those Vegas-Colorado games. I believe the Panthers-Kings game can go under 6.5 as well. So a couple unders. I gave some money lines at the beginning for Dan, and then those middle ones, you probably have to go back and watch this video again. You can create your ruckus same-game parlay. You can be the pirate you always knew you were tonight. And you could also be doing it with me because I'm going to be doing a live stream like Scott Hansen. I mistakenly Freudian slip yesterday. I called him Chris Hansen. I'm going to do my best Scott Hansen with a live stream on the Patreon. I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be boring and me looking at a TV. But, you know, even when I watch movies, I pause it at opportune times. Not a time that would piss anybody off. But I pause it. I go, you mean to tell me that they just did that whole thing and hope nobody would see it? Yeah. And then I'll hit play. So I usually know how to work my commentary in at the right times. If you guys join the Patreon, you'll be on there. That's also where I'm going to I'm going to have my same game ruckus parlays that I'm going to post in the afternoon when I can see all the 2+ point prices. It might be an amazing day, but when you live like a pirate, it might always be your last day. But hopefully I will see you guys there. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Please make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel here. I think you guys are enjoying these videos. I appreciate when you comment. I appreciate when you like. I appreciate when you tell your friends. I appreciate everything. Just about everything. A couple things I don't appreciate, but I'll keep that to myself. All right, I will be back with you guys tomorrow for some Friday picks. Good luck, and hopefully I will see you later.